Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of SDGC Live. It is November 19th, 2020. This hell year is wrapping to a close. And although it's been just an absolutely garbage week for almost everybody, it's also been kind of a good week because we are playing video games on new consoles, and the start of a new generation is always incredibly exciting. This only happens once every 7 years or so, so it's a big deal. We're all very excited, and for everybody listening on podcast services right now, we'll go around the room real quick, and we'll acknowledge everybody who's here. Our producer, of course, Derek, is here running the show, looking good. Hi, Derek.
Hi, everybody.
I miss you already. You know what I like.
Yeah.
Brittany's here. Brittany, did you just yeet that kid to bed? Like, I thought you were going to be late.
You missed the conversation. No, he's playing with his toys. He's content. So I was like, all right, well, I'm just going to.
You were like, you know what? You were like, son, you can stay up late and play with your toys. I got to talk about video games.
Exactly. You
Yeah,
play with your toys. I'll talk about my toys.
That's perfect. That's perfect. Jeff is here. Hi, Jeff.
You're muted.
Jeff, are you muted?
Jeff, you're muted.
Fucking Jeff. Every time.
It's because I spend like 5 hours a day at work in meetings, and I just mute myself because I don't have to talk in most of them.
That's perfect.
So, I was saying I need a haircut so bad because I have like actual bangs now. I usually have like my hair is usually spiked, and like I don't know what to do with this so it doesn't look fucking stupid.
Take that hat off, man. Let's see it. Let's see that shit.
You're gonna
I don't know.
You put some product in that
we
shit.
Called him like Jeff.
That's what you
was
do.
It, like, Hank 2 or something. I don't remember.
I don't know. So this is my problem that I'm dealing with. My hat's falling off. I'm not having a good time right now.
Nobody's
I'm
having a
excited
good
to talk
time right
about
now,
video
Jeff.
games.
Nobody's having a good time right now. And Justin is here. Justin, you finally got your PS5. The saga ended.
Yeah, I was playing the Watch, the Target, and UPS tracking game for like 5 days, but I finally got it Tuesday. So yeah, I'm gonna be able to actually talk about that because if you've been keeping up with our stuff, I literally have had I have been on 2 next gen impressions podcasts after hours that we have recorded, and I had not touched a single next gen console during the recording before the recording of those. So yeah, I'll actually be able to talk about some stuff today.
Can I ask? Did anyone who like ordered a system? Did anyone actually just get their system without any hassle? Because I don't know anyone who did.
I did.
Oh, well, it must be nice.
No
I got
problem.
mine launch day.
All right,
Most people I know got theirs fine.
Fucking guys.
Sorry, man. Like, you know, yeah, sure, the country might be all fucked up, but at least we got our PS5s on time.
Yeah.
So
All right.
that's good, I guess. So
It's all that matters.
obviously, we've got a lot to talk about. We've got no bug snacks to talk about. Thankfully, there is no bug snack. We ain't talking about bug snacks here. I'm kidding. We're gonna talk about bug snacks, but first and foremost, who here got what? I have a PS5. I don't have the new Xbox.
I got 2 Xbox controllers to use on my PC.
Hell yeah.
Dude, I got the Shock Blue. Look at
Ooh,
this. This is
slick.
beauty. I traded in like 20 PS4 games for this.
I traded in my GameCube copy of
They're no good.
Robotech Battle Cry. I had 70 of them.
Britt, I know that you got a PS5. Did you get an Xbox too?
No,
No?
not yet. I want to because Game Pass, but I don't know, man. Halo was my reason for buying an Xbox, and when you delay Halo, you delay Brittany.
That's fair.
And of course, we know Justin finally got his PS5, but I don't think you got an Xbox, did you?
No, I can't afford to get multiple consoles at once.
I can't either, man. My credit
I
card.
can't wait till somebody's gonna say, "Look at all these PlayStation fans."
I still haven't even gotten a goddamn graphics
Hey,
card.
Jeff didn't just get a PS5.
Yeah, I got an Xbox Series S as well.
Oh, you got the Series S. You opted for smaller power.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. So I got. It's funny, you know, I ordered 2 systems and I had 5 days off, like a lot of people, and I thought I thought I'd get one of them on time, but they were both very, very late. So I actually haven't really played either of them yet.
What you're in a perfect position to give impressions then.
I know, yeah.
So I guess I will so I'll kick it off, right? So the box gets here and I'm super excited, right? And apparently the guy drops this huge box off on the porch, and Vicky was like, "You just made my husband very, very happy." And he's like, "Oh, is there a PlayStation 5 in there?" And so I come out and I get it, and I am just completely fucking stunned at how big the box is, right? I was like, "Holy shit." Pulled it out. This is a beefy fucking boy. Like, it's bigger than my computer tower. Like, this motherfucker is big. It's about 15 pounds, and that's fucking big for a console.
You've also got a weirdly tiny computer tower, so.
Well, I do, but I mean, dude, this thing is like, if you stand it on, I mean, this is a tall and wide boy. Like, this is the Maddie Gregoire of consoles. It's tall, it's lanky.
Maddie isn't wide at all.
Dude, when he stretches his hand, dude, he's got like a 7-foot wingspan.
Yeah, he's got a wingspan, right?
Okay.
Got them albatross wings.
He does, man. He soars like an eagle. And I gotta say, it's a hideous box. It's a hideous console, but it's kind of growing on me a little bit. Like I find its ugliness and weird, almost Lovecraftian design almost kind of endearing in a way. And like,
it's
am I weird?
beautiful in a bad art way. Like, you're just like, you know what? All right, after a few years,
guess muted again.
Good.
I'm the opposite. I was fucking defending this thing so hard when everyone was making fun of its fins and shit, and I was like, I think it looks fine. And the more every day, I think it like looks uglier. Like, I'm looking at it in my entertainment console. Everything is symmetrical and like clean lines and square box shapes, and then there's just this fucking mass of white wavy shit in the middle. Like, it just, I don't know, man.
Like, I'm at the point where like I kind of dig the design right now, because like it's really cool and it's like, oh, this is shiny new next gen kind of thing. In a couple of years, that's gonna wear off and it's gonna look ridiculous. But I think for the time being, I enjoy it.
I think both
the size
consoles
isn't
look
really
a
an
lot
issue.
better vertically, in my opinion.
Yeah, oh yeah, they both do. I have to have mine horizontal, and actually it looks, at least like in my setup, it looks better than I expected it to.
Yeah, it looks
for
better.
horizontal.
It looks better laying down.
It does.
But,
no, yeah.
I
If you
wish
have
I could have.
if you have
I
this
wish I
thing
could have had it
standing up,
vertical.
then you are the chief of police. You're not just a cop.
Well, I mean, I have it standing up, but that's because
You
I
are
don't
the
have
chief of
room
police.
anywhere else.
So, like, look at this thing, right? The controller, the DualSense. This is the ugliest shit I've ever seen in my life.
See, I like the
Okay.
controller.
The
The
best.
controller looks good, I think.
No, it like either go all white or all black. This makes no sense. This makes no sense. It looks like somebody painted over the touchpad of a PS4 controller. Like why? Why?
It looks
Why?
fine, man. It looks fine.
I
Oh,
think
it looks terrible.
fine.
It feels great. Don't get me wrong. It's a great controller. It's a fan, and we'll get to the haptic feedback in just a second. But yeah, see what Derek's holding up.
It's gorgeous.
Solid colors.
One
are the way to
nice
go.
piece
This
up
thing,
here.
this is hideous. This is ugly. Like, look at that. Oh, it's terrible. I can't stand the way the controller looks. I can't stand it. Yeah, see, look again. The shock blue looks great because it's a solid color. And I know that it sounds weird. It's like a first world problem to be arguing about your ugly ass console when other people are like, John, I just want a PS5 period. And I get that, but man, this motherfucker is not attractive.
No.
It's
at all.
very nice.
Ugly glossy
It's
color.
very, but see, I didn't mind the DualSense controller in PS4. I think a lot of people just needlessly complained about it, but it felt great to me. And I was worried that this one wasn't going to feel as good because I have little hands, okay? I got little hands that can't reach big boys. And so the DualSense was good for me. So I was worried about this new one, but it feels really good. The Switch one, like the Switch controller, the Pro controller.
Too big. It's too big.
It's too big and it gives me
What?
carpal tunnel really bad. Like, I
Yeah.
hate it.
Yeah, I don't like the Switch Pro
It's
controller very much.
awful.
I
It's-
love it.
The
It's
Switch
just-
Pro controller's little.
No,
Oh.
it's awful.
Again, look at me and my
I have,
Xbox
like,
controller,
I got
right?
little,
Like,
I got little baby hands. I got little nubby
Yes.
fingers.
I got
little
big old
baby.
Sasquatch hands that can wrap an entire controller
Honestly,
up.
it's funny. The Xbox controller has always felt too big to me, and I liked the DualShock 4, and the DualSense honestly feels a little bit too big for me. Like it's fine, but like my thumbs are having to reach a little bit more. And the new Xbox controller actually feels a little bit smaller than the Xbox One controller. So I was surprised at that. But I mean, both of them, they fucking feel like if I threw them at someone's head, it would do a lot of damage.
Oh
Like
yeah, fuck yeah, bud. You
the-
break into my house, I'm
these are solid, solid controllers. Definitely the best we've ever had for both systems, I think.
So
I
While-
cannot believe how much I love this controller. Like, just
So-
talking about it from a traditional controller standpoint,
Right.
like I was also worried that, you know, it might be too big for me, but it fits perfectly in my hands. Like, the buttons and triggers and stuff feel really good. I like the new texturing on the sticks, and on the back of the controller and everything. Like, it feels almost like, before we even talk about like the new features of it, like, it feels kind of like what I would have expected, like a pro controller equivalent of like the
right,
DualShock
it
4
feels
to
it
like.
feels premium.
Yep.
Yeah.
You okay, Derek?
No, I'm dying.
Okay. We'll
It's fine.
we'll spin
Walk
up
it off.
an in memoriam for Derek after the show.
All right, I'm back. I'm back.
So we've talked about the our, let's just say, varied opinions on the colors of the controller, but honestly the most, and this ties into the most next gen thing about the entire console for me, which is the haptic feedback in the controller. And you know, I was wondering how this was going to work, right? And so I fired up Demon Souls. Demon Souls was the first game I played. And as I'm walking around taking in how fucking gorgeous this game is, which I'll get into a little later, I'm walking over like loose pieces of wood and rock, and when you do that, you can feel a little vibration on the back of the controller as your character, like, you know, catches his foot on a piece of lumber. And I was just like, whoa. And all these tiny little it catches all these tiny little movements of your character that would just like, you know, the old HD rumble feature just could never have done. And I noticed when I was pulling a bow, like I would pull out a bow and, you know, knock an arrow and draw it back. As I did that, as I pushed down on R2, I felt a little bit of resistance as I was pushing down, and I realized that that's the haptic feedback simulating the feeling of drawing a bow completely taut. And it just
the triggers are wild.
It's nuts.
Yeah, no, the way the haptic feedback stuff works is so cool. Like, there's one part in Astro's Playroom, which is like the pre-installed pack-in game, based off of the really awesome VR game. And there's one part where you like, you're walking through the rain and there's an umbrella up, and like, you feel where the raindrops are hitting in different places on the controller, like in your hand. I have no idea how like they're able to do that. And like, actually, like in the new Call of Duty, they actually use the haptics and like triggers really well. Like, different guns will have different pressure required to aim down sights. So the bigger it is, the harder it is to aim. And the haptic feedback moves the controller like in the direction of the recoil pattern, and like the trigger will actually bounce with how heavy the recoil is. So you get all this information on, like, because like figuring out recoil patterns and how to compensate for them and like where it's going to angle and when is like a big part of learning these guns. And like all of a sudden, all this information is given to you immediately, like as you play. And it's also just a really cool immersive thing. Like it's been a long time since I've seen one of these kind of like things that's usually pitched as like a gimmicky controller thing actually deliver better than I think what was promised. Like, it's so cool.
Brittany, what was the first game you fired up on your PS5 and did it use the haptic feedback? Oh wait, never mind. I already know what game you fired up first on your PS5.
Next. Go next. Let me be last.
All right, fine. So, Derek, tell us about the haptic feedbacks in the PS in the DualSense. What has been your experience so far?
I'll travel back to this episode sometime in spring when I get my PlayStation 5.
What have you been playing, Derek? What's going on over there?
A lot. I have been let's save this for, we'll do like a what we've been playing maybe after we do some next gen stuff.
We'll flip
we
it.
were gonna flip it, yeah, but we're gonna flip it the other way. So all I've got as far as next gen stuff is I got my Xbox controllers to use on PC, and I love them there. I love the Xbox One controller. Again, I have big old gigantic hands, and
You got some meat hooks, dude.
I got some
meat hooks.
I got some fucking paws, and I love the Xbox One controller, and the Xbox Series X controller is just that, but with the weight redistributed a little bit in a way that I like, and with like more like it's a single piece instead of this weird separated glossy, top part that's real ugly, and like I like the grip texture on it. It's just like a moderate improve. Oh, the D-pad's so much better.
The D-pad is. I hate the D-pad on almost every
really is.
controller, and
I
this
love the
D-pad is,
D-pad
like,
on this.
It's super good, and the texture. Again, I normally am like, texture, grip texture, but this texture is like, it's really, really nice.
Yeah. So I love the controller. Again, I'm using it to play PC game. I've been playing shit that's a couple years old. So it doesn't really. I have no next gen impressions at this point. But again, I'll grab a PS5 in the spring or something, and I'm sure it'll blow my fucking mind.
I would mail you mine, but
No, you wouldn't.
no.
And you shouldn't.
No. Only for you though. So like if we're gonna get into what we've been playing.
has
Britt,
impressions.
please.
No.
No.
No, I just got offended that he said you're the only one. That's fine.
Oh.
We know where John's list stands. But
Brittany, you have a PS5.
I do.
Yeah, so where the hell would I see
I
mine?
technically have two, but I could always use a third.
Why would you need three? That makes this all right. You fucking crazy. All right, so if we're gonna talk about what we've been playing, that just ties into my PS5 talk. So I'll kick that off. I've been playing Demon Souls. I've been playing a lot of fucking Demon Souls since Friday.
John playing a Souls game.
I'm at the final boss. What's that?
I said John playing a Souls game. Like I'm just shocked.
I know it's weird. I know. Yeah, you never would have expected it from me. But I'm at the final boss, and I'm gonna clear that after the podcast. Then I'll probably start a new game plus because that's a Souls game for you. And I gotta tell you, this is the most beautiful game I have ever seen on any console or PC. I mean, it's not even close.
I've been reading that a lot.
It looks
When I fired it up,
ridiculous.
I mean, I can't even begin to describe
Let me ask you. So,
Okay.
because it looks that pretty, how does it run? Is it slow,
It runs
like
flawlessly, 60 frames a
Locked
second.
60 FPS.
okay? So, is there any loading times or
Nope.
anything?
No.
Like that?
Like
Wow.
Nope.
the longest loading time I've seen is probably about 2 or 3 seconds.
I timed it from my dash. I haven't played much of it, but I timed it from my dash, like literally on the PS5, the main menu. From the time you launch the game to the time you're running forward, 18 seconds.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because you could skip the intro movie, and if you just mash continue, it loads into the game in like 3 seconds flat.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's insane.
I mean, I've never seen anything like it, and it is. When I first walked into Boletaria, I was literally I had trouble playing it because I was like, I was like, how is this looking? Like my wife, who doesn't give a shit about any Souls game, came into the room just to check out the new console. She goes, wow. Like I was completely transfixed by how pretty. Like I don't know how Blue Point does the shit that they do,
Sony money.
but holy fuck! Now it's still a Souls game. They have not touched the AI at all, right? Like, so you've still got skeletons who do dive bombs off of cliffs.
It's straight up
and,
running the
you've got,
original AI
you can
underneath
walk.
the
You can kind
new
of.
stuff, which is cool.
It is. It is actually still running the original AI from the 2009 PS3 release of Demon Souls. So again, you can you can run. You can just do circles around NPCs and backstab them. Like it's still Demon Souls. It's still very fundamentally
It's just pretty Demon Souls.
yeah, but it is a very very pretty Demon Souls, and they added some new stuff. They added some new weapons and new armors. But it's still quintessential Demon Souls. None of that has changed. And I got to tell you, it is probably one of the best launch games I've ever played. Certainly the best PlayStation launch game ever, I think. I mean, the quality here is, I mean, like, and I'm sure Justin will back me up. You can't really, anything I say about how good it looks, I mean, like, until you see it in motion yourself in person, like, nothing I say is going to justify it.
One comparison I saw was hilarious. Somebody was like, they had originally thought the first screenshots that were released were complete bullshots. Yep. And then they were able to, like, it was literally, they just turned off the HUD for those screens. Yeah. Like, they weren't even photo mode. They were performance mode. Like, there is a native 4K mode, but it's not worth using. The 60 FPS mode's incredible. Like, they were the performance mode just with the HUD turned off. I mean, that was it. Yeah.
You know what's funny is I'm hearing a lot of people with a bunch of different games, right? Not just with Demon Souls, talking about, like, why would you use any mode other than the performance mode offered with the launch games on PS5, with backwards compatible games running in their, like, you know, boost mode, whatever. They're saying, why would you ever go for the pure 4K, do the performance mode? And it's just very funny to me that the conversation so immediately shifted from everybody being like, oh, 4K such a fucking game changer, to the minute that these consoles come out, they're like, wow, this is what games look like at 60 FPS? It's kind of like...
Well, Demon Souls, I feel like the graphics mode in that game exists only to be able to prove that native 4K is not worth it. Like, the only difference is that the game, like, the 60 FPS mode is using dynamic res plus temporal reconstruction. So, like, it's still a very nice 4K image that it outputs. It just doesn't cost as much to render. Mm-hmm. The only difference when you switch to the native 4K mode is that it's just no longer running at 60 FPS. Like, well, and that mode exists just to prove that you should just play it in the performance mode.
The last thing I'll say about Demon Souls is that it didn't take long for the Souls community to prove that it is still the Souls community. I was running around in the Shrine of Storms, which is and if you know about Demon Souls, 4.1 is like the big PvP area, so everybody goes for PvP. And I was in human form, and I run a quality build, so which means that I can use any weapons or armor in the game that I want. So I was running a rogue type, and and some guy invaded me, and so I cast Vanish on myself and just hid behind a pillar. And for 30 minutes, he ran around the level just looking for me. He started sending me nasty messages like "nice glitching, bro," and like other language that I can't say here. And because he couldn't find me, and then so finally he ran down some stairs, and I just like casually took 2 steps out from behind the pillar and kicked him off a ledge. And I put it up on Twitter. If somebody wants to, I'll drop it in the chat. But I just kicked him off the ledge, and I got 10 angry messages on PSN about what a cheater I was, and I just sent him back. Got to get good, scrub. And then
these are the same guys who say,
I was like, you know what? As fucked up as everything is right now, the Souls community stays the same.
These salty fucks are the same people who say there can't be an easy mode in these games. Like, yeah. And yet the minute they get kicked off a ledge, they're like,
you're cheating.
That's it. Hard R, N-word, let's go. Like, really?
Yeah, it was absolutely glorious. I'm gonna find while somebody goes next, I'm gonna find that I just saw a DM that Derek sent me. Thank you for that, Derek. Appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Somebody go next because now Derek's DM Derek sent me just got me all fucked up.
I've kind of been doing a wide sampling since I have gotten my my PS5. I didn't get it till Tuesday. Anybody that follows me on Twitter saw me turn into a being composed entirely of salt for about 5 days until I finally
really
got
bad.
it. I was so mad. but I'm not going to get into that. I'm just going to focus on my experience. So the first thing I played was Astro's Playroom. I was a huge fan of Astrobot Rescue Mission for PSVR. And I had heard, it does some really cool stuff with the DualSense. And oh my God, Astro's Playroom is going to go down in history as one of the best pack-in games with a console.
I still haven't played
I haven't either.
Please.
What kind of game is? I keep hearing people talk about
It's
it.
a platformer.
What do you do?
It's like Mario.
It's a platformer.
You collect things, collect coins, collect puzzle pieces.
Okay.
You jump around. But so each there's the whole thing takes place like inside of a PS5, basically. You start in like a CPU. You start in the CPU, and then like there's the SSD Speedway, the GPU Rainforest, everything's like named after different parts of the PS5, and you go through these different areas, and they have different visual themes, and there's as you're playing through the levels, you'll come across these like different suits Astro can put on, and those like you physically you take the touchpad and zip it up, and the controller makes
that's
like
cool.
zipper
I need to play
noises
this.
and shakes like with the touchpad, and then
How many can you play?
those all showcase like different aspects of the DualSense. So one of them is like rockets that you use the triggers for. There's like a ball that you steer with the touchpad. It's super cool. But like there's also all the collectibles are different like peripherals and consoles from PlayStation history. And as you go through the levels, there's like scenes that are being filmed, and with like the bots dressed up and reenacting different scenes from classic PlayStation games, new, old, big, little. Like
Planet?
There's stuff from Final Fantasy, there's stuff from God of War, there's stuff from Uncharted, Last of Us, but there's also stuff like Vib-Ribbon and everything in between. It's so delightful to go through. And then like you actually collect everything in like this giant museum, and you can go through and interact with all of them. It's like a love letter to PlayStation history while also showing off like the possibilities of the DualSense and the PS5. And I had so much fun playing through that game. It put a huge smile on my face. It was like the most relaxed and happiest I've been in months playing this game.
Which is good,
It
because I
was
know it's been a rough few months for you.
It was wonderful. And this game is not just free, it's pre-installed on every PS5. So like you have it if you have a PS5. I highly recommend you guys check it out because it's super cool. I finished in probably about 3 to 4 hours, but I want to go through and get 100%. But like, still, that's a pretty great free game. And then I played about 20 minutes of Demon Souls. That's gonna be a long-term project. When
You got to learn to get good. You got to learn to get good.
When I
Justin.
can really focus on it. I did make a really cool lady. I will say the character creator is now actually an acceptable character creator.
It is actually really good.
Unlike
It is
the
really
classic
good.
FromSoft one. But
Classic
like
Monster Factory.
No,
You mean-
dude, some of the
Yeah.
creations that people are putting on Twitter are fucking horrible. Like,
Oh, I'm sure.
hideous
But I
shit.
actually
I
made
hope
it-
I get a Monster
I made a-
Factory for the new Demon Souls.
Oh, yeah, I
McElroy's,
do
if
too.
you're listening.
yeah. But I made a really cool looking lady, and so I was excited about that. But Demon Souls looks amazing. I'm gonna put more time into it. I had been playing a bunch of really hard games lately. I kind of wanted to have some more chill stuff in the meantime. And then I had also gotten a code actually to try out the new Call of Duty, and because I didn't want to buy it. You guys have heard me talk plenty about how I expected this game to be really, really bad, and it sounds like the multiplayer is really, really bad. Like I
Yeah, that's
expected.
what Sam was
However,
saying.
the campaign actually really cool. Like there's like tons of side missions, there's dialogue options, there's interviews. You go through and collect evidence, and then depending on what evidence you find will like impact dialogue options you have in missions. And some missions you have to piece together certain bits of evidence in order to get a good outcome. Like I did this one side mission that I had to decrypt like a Soviet floppy disk, because we were trying to take out the head of this like spy cell. But if we didn't break that decryption, we wouldn't be able to track the people he was training. And I had a notebook and paper going through all the hints to try to decrypt like an actual code cipher. And it took me over half an hour to actually figure it out. And that was with all the evidence before I could do it. I never thought I would say stuff like this in a Call of Duty game. There's like some really neat stealth and kind of like light immersive sim levels and stuff. The game's at its worst when it's being big, bombastic, classic Call of Duty. But there's a lot of really cool little stuff. I'm definitely going to stick with it because it's neat. And like I said, I love the way it uses like the DualSense feedback for shooting and stuff. It feels really, really good. And then today, I started Spider-Man Miles Morales, and I sat down at like 2 p.m. to start it, and then the next thing I realized it was like 7:30 p.m. Wonderful game. Just, it's put a smile on my face. I haven't even done much of I haven't even done too much of the story. I've just been kind of swinging around. The 2 modes for that game are really cool. There is a mode that's native 4K with ray tracing, and it's really, really impressive. But like for how I play those games, the swinging in 60 FPS mode is how I play it. It looks awesome. It runs great. Like that's kind of one of the things that's been wild to me about kind of playing on PS5 lately is like I haven't played a single game at 30 FPS yet. Everything I played has been like 60
Right.
FPS and not just like tries to hit 60 FPS. It's been like 60 FPS while still being visually noticeably better than the PS4 Pro. And like the load times are nuts. Like Astro and Spider-Man, the PS5 has these things called cards. And if you go under them, they'll have a thing like you could be playing a different game. Like say I was playing Call of Duty or something and I wanted to switch over to Miles. I could go down to the cards and there's one that's just that's basically just continue from my latest save. It loads within 5 seconds. I'm in my save playing Miles. It's awesome. Like the old style of console immediacy is back, and it's really, really fun. And I'm really happy with this console. The games I've got have been really good. All of them have exceeded my expectations. And I still have a couple more. I won a code for the Pathless from Annapurna, which I'm going to check out and I want to talk about because not many people are talking about that. And I of course downloaded Bugsnax, which I haven't had a chance to start yet. But I've been having a blast the past couple days with my PS5.
Speaking of Bugsnax, I wanted to kick it over to Brittany because I know Brittany has been dying to talk about Bugsnax. That's
my what I've been playing. So let's do Jeff's first impressions and then we'll go over to me because that'll kind of tie it all in.
Oh no.
Okay. All right.
I've been dreading this because I don't want to be the negative guy. I don't want to be the Debbie Downer.
Yes.
I know Derek's gonna come back a little bit on this.
Do it.
All right. I'm gonna try to find
spicy.
I'm not gonna be. I'm gonna try to. I'm just being real. All right. So I've got an Xbox Series S and a PlayStation 5. I haven't had time to play many games. Like I've been playing a little bit of the 2018 Spider-Man Remastered, like just kind of swinging around. Like I haven't had enough time to put into anything to really give impressions. So maybe I'll talk about my experience with the consoles. And for context, I thought the PS4 UI was fine. I thought it was the best of last gen. Whenever I tried to like find a setting in the menu, it was easy to find. It felt intuitive. All my games were there. It had like no clutter. Everything was just worked, and I loved it a lot. And I had an Xbox One for a few years, and I fucking hated that thing.
I hated it. It was the worst.
It was slow as shit. I could never in the menus. I could like never find what I was looking for. They loaded so slow. Every menu was like opening another menu in a different app. It was the weirdest shit. So, to my surprise, from a UI perspective, my experience with my Xbox Series S has been a lot better. Both systems are very fast. There's no doubt about that. But my Series S, when I went to set it up, you walk through the whole setup process on your phone while it's like downloading a firmware update. and then the system's just good to go. And like all your settings are there. I imported all my settings from Xbox One. Like everything was just set up. My PS5, I went through the initial process and then I started downloading some games, and my UI just went like crazy. Like I started trying to go to the PS collection, like the PS Plus collection, where you have like a bunch of games you can add, like a bunch of the popular PS4 games. And I tried to add Persona 5 to like my library, and it just sat there for 2 minutes and didn't do anything. And then my PS4 got like my PS5 got an error code. And so like, and then it froze. And I understand this is probably an outlier. I'm just giving you my experience with my console. Many people's consoles are probably fine, but this is a horrible first impression. I tried to buy Miles Morales. I tried to buy it from the store, and it also froze. So I hard booted my system. Then I launched Demon Souls and like got to the main menu and got an error code and got booted back to the dash. Like my first experience with the PS5 was it's been okay since that first day. It's been fine, but it's just got some other weird quirks. Like I put it in rest mode earlier today, and I noticed now when I go to boot up Demon Souls, instead of 20 seconds, it took 2 minutes. But if I do a hard reset on it, it's fine. So like, and I've read some stuff anecdotally online. I don't know if everyone's affected. There's definitely some weirdness with the PS5 rest mode. So I'm just avoiding that for now. But my first experience with the consoles was like, Series S is like flawless, no issues. PS5, little messy, and like I just have to get used to it, so I don't want to be too harsh, but it feels like there's more button presses to do everything than there was on my PS4. Like the PS4, if I wanted to turn it off, I just hold down the PlayStation button and go down and hit turn off. And now like my PS5, I kind of have to, I can't hold it anymore. I tap it, I have to go past these game cards, go all the way to the side to the power button. I don't know, there's just...
I noticed there's not as many like game card slots, and there's just a bunch of shit added in between it, and that's what I don't like.
There's
like, there's more ads, and I'm like, nah, we can get rid of those.
It's just, it's a little bit busier, a few more presses to get to everything. I like, it feels very next gen. My complaint about Xbox is like, I boot it up, I'm like, this is an Xbox One. And the PS5, I booted up, I'm like, okay, this is like a new thing. But that's like good and bad, right? So,
right, yeah.
But my general impression of both consoles is like, I don't feel like next gen is here. And this is where I'm trying not to be mean, I'm trying not to be spicy, but I've been playing games at 60 FPS for 10 years. Because I play 1080, like, you know, 1080p, 1440, whatever, like, 60 FPS is not new. We had PS2 games. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 on PS2 was 60 FPS. We went a little bit backwards for a few generations, but... So to me, like, that's nice. Don't get me wrong. It's awesome that we can finally have way better performance on these consoles, but I'm not getting that next-gen feel. Like, even with PS4, as much as people hated Killzone Shadowfall, when I booted that up and looked at it, I was like, this feels like a next-gen game. And I booted up a little bit of Demon Souls. Like, Spider-Man on PS5 looks better, but nothing I've played or seen yet. And that's not the console's fault. The games will come. I just feel like...
Because you have a pretty nice... You have a pretty nice...
So, well, hold on.
You have a pretty
on.
nice PC, too. Like, that's kind of an important...
Yeah, hold on.
I mean, there's definitely going to be a different perspective with that when you're coming from somebody with a pretty nice PC versus somebody who has been stuck on consoles for the past 7 years.
Of course.
Well, what I'll say is this, real quick, Jeff, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
I think that, you know, I think more of the next gen feel of the PS5. I can't speak for the Xbox because I don't have one, but I feel like the most of the next gen feel on the PS5 comes in places you wouldn't expect, like the haptic feedbacks on the controller, or and I did not know this until Zach and Sam showed me. I was playing Demon Souls this weekend with Sam and Zach. And the PS5 has a little picture-in-picture deal that you can do where if you are with somebody in a voice chat, like you can put their gameplay feed in the corner of your screen while you're playing your game.
I didn't know.
Yeah, it's cool.
Let's do some screen cheating in GoldenEye. Let's go.
And like seriously, like that blew, like it's literally picture in picture, and it was blowing our minds. We were like, what the fuck? I had no idea that the PS5 could do that. And so what's cool about that is as we're fighting like Demon Souls bosses together, I can keep one eye on my screen and one eye on Zach's character at the same time.
What are you, a fucking chameleon?
I am. And it's right there. And it's just, it's one of the coolest features I've ever seen. It was blowing my mind that I could do that. I wasn't trying to like push back, Jeff, or say that you were wrong, but
No, that's
but like
fine.
there's some stuff hidden in the PS5 that I don't actually think that people realize is there, because I had no idea that was even there until they showed me.
And I don't disagree. Like, all the features, the console, the loading times, the controller, all that's great. But in the end, like, I play games. I don't really care. The UI just needs to be functional. I boot up my system, and the first thing I do is I just go into a game. That's literally, I'm only turning it on to play a game. I'm not there to socialize. I'm not in group chats. That's not how I play. And just, I played, so I've been playing a little bit of Demon's Souls. Demon's Souls looks really good. But this is a remake of a game that I already played a long time ago. It looks really good, but it doesn't have that, I don't know. I'm just missing that intangible, like, okay, next gen is here, and it will come, and I'm not worried about that. The systems are great, but I just feel like both systems right now, when I look at the games out there, remasters of old games running a little bit better, that's all great, but like I'm
right. Show me something new in how it runs. Like show me something new at the level of Demon's Souls. I get what you're saying.
Show me Final Fantasy 16 releasing next year.
Yeah, so
Jeff, what you're saying is you're a gamer, you don't have time for bullshit.
Exactly.
You want to get in there and game.
Yeah, I don't care about any of that.
I got a full-time job and we're 9 to 5.
Jeff's like, I got a can of game fuel, sweating right now. My KD ratio is going up with every sip. I got a game.
You cut out those. You got to cut those minute and a half load times out of every transition over the course of 7 years. That adds up to some extra play time. That's all I'm saying.
So important. It's so important. All right, Jeff, you got anything else, buddy?
No, that's pretty much it. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I think both systems are great. I just want to be clear. I am enjoying them. I'm replaying through the original Spider-Man before I get to Miles Morales. So it's going to be a while before I get to touch Miles.
I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to play through the original before I do Miles.
And it's great. It looks amazing, and it's wonderful playing it at a higher frame rate. Absolutely. I mean, that's why I bought these systems, because I can't get everything on my PC. I love Sony's first-party studios, and now it's great to be able to play them in a version that looks better and runs better. And I got my Xbox for like I just played through Gears 1 for the first time. I've never played any of the Gears games, so I'm gonna play through all those. There's a difference in the Game Pass library on Xbox versus PC, so there is some games that I miss out on PC. So I'm gonna play some of that stuff on my Xbox, and that's basically why that's there. But like, these systems are great, and there's lots of awesome games, and with all the backwards compatibility, like even if there's not a ton of new stuff, there's always old stuff that you haven't played yet. And now it's going to look and run as good or better than it ever did. So really, I don't think anyone can lose with these new systems. That's my final take. I'll end on a positive note.
So, Britt, are we talking about bug snacks?
Listen, I want to talk about something that is kind of bug, kind of snack.
Oh shit! Whenever Brittany takes a sip before she starts talking, shit's about to go down. It's about to get real.
I was interested. So I wasn't interested in bug snacks when I watched the trailer, and I was on this podcast when I watched the reveal trailer, and I was like, this is just somebody who's high and decided to make a video game. Like, I was like, what the fuck is bug snack? So, and then the more that came out, I was like, okay, this looks like a game that's for me. And then it actually came out, and people were posting their reviews about it, and people were saying it's basically like Viva Pinata, which I love, and Pokemon Snap. And I was like, all right, well, I'm in. I'm playing. So Bug Snacks was my first and only game I played on PS5 so far, and I platinumed it. I loved it. It was such a fun, cute little game. So on the surface, it is like, it's just that. It's a fucking weird, silly, like cartoony game. And then you start getting into the story, and you're like, there's
a story?
There is story, and it's a good story. Like, it's not just silliness, go catch bug snacks. There's an actual story to the game. And by the end of it, like, literally you're sitting on the couch and you're like, what the fuck? What am I playing? Like, what's happening? Like,
does it get real dark? Is there like...
Yeah, it gets pretty dark. Like, it does. They talk about death all the time. Like, you find bones of previous Grumbles, which are the little puppet characters you play as. Like,
what the fuck?
There's just a whole level. Like, exactly. There's a whole.
John, you have had a Bug Snacks.
You've been calling yourself Chandler
for like a
Funk
week.
Bum.
there's a different level to bug snacks, and that's why I love it so much, because on the surface it's just a silly fruit with googly eyes, food with googly eyes, and it just seems weird.
Wait.
And then the more you play, the more like you're just like, oh,
Are you
okay.
actually eating bugs? Are you eating bugs? Are they snacks? Are you eating bug snacks?
You might have to play the game to find. I'm
I
not.
mean, I'm not gonna
would you
play it, but I'm
compare-
just wondering,
Would
are
you
there
com-
bug snacks?
Would you compare bug snacks to Nier Automata?
Good question.
It's
You know,
weird.
The bugs
Nothing
probably
will
don't
ever be as
fuck.
weird as Nier Automata. Nothing will ever be as weird as Nier Automata. So one thing I love about Bug Snacks is it's inclusive as fuck. They have a character that goes by they them. They have a lesbian couple. They have a gay couple. Like, and it's just there. Like, there's no big focus around it. Nobody gives a fuck. That's just who they are. Like, and it's the most inclusive game that I've seen that doesn't make a big deal about being inclusive, right? It's not like this studio was like, hey guys, we got some gays up in this bitch. Like, they were just there. And I was like when I first loaded up the game, because you find out in the beginning that Lisbeth, who's the Australian one that you see in all the trailers, she has a girlfriend. And I was like, oh, that's really cool. And it's like, that's it. Like, there doesn't have to be any like big build up. Like, so I was like, okay, they got a gay couple. That's cool. Well, then there's two gay couples, and you're like, what? How does that happen? Like, you hardly ever get just one gay couple. How does two exist? So, it just, on the surface, like I keep saying, it's a silly looking game, but the more you get into it, it's just, it's fun. It has great representation in it. It has good, what is that face? You just looking so unimpressed by everything I'm saying, John.
I'm just taking it all in. I'm taking it all in.
It's such a treat of a game. It's just cute. It's fun. You know, it's like kind of like Justin was saying. It's like you start playing, and then 5 hours later, you're still playing. You're still catching
tell you
bug
what, Britt.
snacks.
I'll tell you what.
What?
Just as I promised you that I watched Tangled, and I did, I will play bug
Did
snacks.
you though? I haven't quizzed you on you.
No, I did. Ask me any question.
Many of us are still skeptical because all we got was it was good.
Yeah, that was it.
No, hey, fine.
I'm
We're
more
gonna clear
responded
this
to
shit
Vicky.
up.
I think Vicky
No, we're
watched
not.
it. I
Okay,
think
you know what? We're
listened
gonna
to it in
clear
the
this shit up right
background.
now. Ask me a question.
No, it's fine. What?
So
Okay, wait. What is Flynn Rider's real name?
Eugene, wasn't it?
oh,
that's-
very good. That was I even was like I had to like think a little bit. So
That
all
was
right.
good.
How about that?
All right.
Maybe we don't
It-
give John enough credit sometimes.
We don't.
Maybe you don't. Maybe you don't.
He still hasn't watched Cowboy
So-
Bebop. But
So I will make you this promise. Just as I watched Tangled, I will play Bug Snacks this weekend.
You're gonna love it. Just like the gameplay might not be your jam, but I think the characters and their personality, especially Chadlow, like he's my favorite character. He's Finn's favorite character. He's Saki's favorite character. Chandlo, I'm sorry. It's just the best. And all these like they give you little side missions. So the whole point of the game is there's this camp. Everybody separates, and you have to bring them all together, and you have to catch like certain snacks to bring to other people. And there's this one character named Grumble, he's basically a vegan. He thinks bug snacks are too cute to eat, so he keeps them as pets. And you have to wake him. He sleepwalks at night, and if he sleepwalks, he'll eat bug snacks. So you have to put him back to bed. It's just little. It's cute. It's the most adorable
What if-
fucking thing.
What would his reaction be if he woke up and he had like chewed up bug snack in his mouth?
Well, that's actually one of the trophies. Is you have to force feed him bug snacks while he's sleeping.
Oh God!
What?
That's fucked up.
That's fucking terrible.
It really is. Like there's
What the fuck is that all about?
Holy shit.
Wait. Hold on. So you're telling me that this wholesome vegetarian loves his bug snacks so much that he doesn't want to eat them. He wants to keep them as pets and protect him. And your role is to force feed him fucking bugs. snacks.
Only if you want to 100% trophy.
And
the
you
game.
did. You did. You
Is
did
it
it.
like
Listen,
is
listen.
there
You
like
did it.
evil morality in the game? And this
I
pushes you
didn't do
full-
it until the very end. Until the very end of the game.
So that's how you ended the game. That's how you ended the game. Was force feeding this poor fruit his pet bugs.
I did this. I did the nice one looking ones though, if that helps.
How far would you go for a trophy? Like, would you kill a person?
Listen, let's not talk about that.
A lot of trophies have you kill hundreds of people, so you know.
Oh my god.
So okay,
This
to
game
wrap
now, I
it up,
guess.
I platinumed bug snacks in 16. I almost said 600. 16 hours.
16 hours and your soul. That's what it cost you.
Oh my god. Yes. Please play bugs. Don't listen to play bug snacks. It's wonderful.
Would you kill a person for a trophy?
I want somebody to clip the moment I say you force feed them bug snacks and watch everybody's reaction. Just like the horror as I said it.
How far would you go, Britt? Oh
This
my
isn't a fucking Klondike bar, all right? It's a video.
Oh,
game
how many
where I
licks does it take to get a center?
What would you do
Brittany,
for bug snacks?
Brittany, how many licks does it take to get to the center of a bug snacks?
Let's find out.
Oh
Pop it
God,
in,
let's not
play
find
it.
out.
Oh no.
This is terrible.
It's free. All right,
Damn.
it's free.
Save
Go
us,
fucking
Derek.
download it. Go shove some bug snacks.
How many
down-
war crimes does it take to get a PlayStation Platinum trophy?
More like to get a PlayStation. Am I right?
Find out next with Britt.
Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z.
I mean, that's actually basically just the trophy list for Black Ops Cold War. Like, hey,
War
that's-
crimes.
Listen, so play bug snacks. It even if it's not your jam as a game, it has a wonderful fucking message. It's cute. It has a good story. It's even if you don't dig it, it's a short game. Even if you don't want to go force feed people or catch all the bug
That-
snacks.
That message is force feed people the things they love.
Yes. Yeah. Feed the ones that want food. Don't force feed the ones that don't want food. If you don't want to. If you want to be a real gamer, you fucking do what you have to do to get
Holy
that platinum.
shit!
that's
Brittany
right.
is,
Real
Brittany
gamers
is-
support waterboarding.
Brittany is finally embracing her inner gamer. Wow.
You fucking kick somebody off a ledge. I don't want to hear shit.
Okay, look, fucking Demon Souls is a much different scenario than bug snacks. Okay,
You don't know. Play the game and tell me if you think it's that much different.
tell me that shit wasn't hilarious though.
Tell me force feeding a grumble is not hilarious. A grumpus.
Get that shit down your throat. Oh God, like it's such a violent image. Oh, I can't stand it. Derek,
Are we
Derek,
not doing
please
phrasing?
take it somewhere else.
I haven't played any. Well, I guess we're moving kind of more generally into what we've been playing.
Yeah, that's what I've been playing.
Well, so I'm
Yeah.
the only one who's really been playing anything who has no non next gen stuff, right?
I've been
Tell us about
playing Pokemon too.
Yakuza, man.
Yeah. So I'll
Yeah,
talk a little about what I've
boy.
been playing, and then should we move on to the
Yeah.
Capcom stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
okay.
wanna talk about that.
So I've been playing a couple things the last little bit here, couple weeks while we haven't had anything. In absence of a next gen console, I've been playing what is most relevant to everyone here. I've been playing Yakuza Like a Dragon, which is
Yeah.
Yakuza 7. It is. I did a stream, which you should still be able to watch. Should still be up on our Twitch channel here. But excuse me. Oh my god. Okay, no, there's not gonna be a round two. Yakuza Like a Dragon. It happens. I just drank a whole Coke. I'm sorry. Yakuza Like a Dragon. Y'all know that I love the Yakuza series. I love these games. I think they are incredibly well written. They are surprisingly thoughtful and heartfelt. They are really good crime dramas. They're very funny. I think they are surprisingly progressive in a way that I think catches many people off guard. I saw a great tweet, not words you often say, but where somebody joked about the fact that Persona, the series that's supposed to be all about the youth and the kids and all of that, is the one that frequently is so regressive in its handling of queer issues, for example, and other such issues. And then you have Yakuza, which is this crime drama about middle-aged men, and it's the one that is so openly like pro-queer, pro-transgender. It is pro-sex work, pro-homeless. There's a huge chunk of Yakuza Like a Dragon that is you spend much of the game homeless and embedded with other homeless people, and you have to see and deal with that kind of up close and personal. The character is the son of a sex worker who grew up kind of raised around sex work, and you engage with sex workers very often, and a kind of negative faction in the game is this very puritanical social group who is trying to basically outlaw literally anything, anything that's sketchy, anything in the gray areas. It's surprising to see any game, any piece of media take such an openly pro sex work and pro homeless position that says these are
Especially
fucking
coming from Japan.
yeah. Yeah,
like-
it's like these are people. Like, that lady who is working at a soap land, which is basically like sex work disguised as kind of like a bathhouse massage parlor kind of deal. Like, those women often have kids and families that they're supporting. Like, they're putting food on the table. They're doing a job. It's who are you to tell them that they're a bad mother for, bringing home money for paying for their kids' school for shit like that, right?
exactly.
I just think that's very cool. I think it's just very heartfelt. And I think if you haven't played a Yakuza game, you should play Yakuza Like a Dragon. It's a refresh. It is a brand new character. You don't have to have played anything before to jump in. If you like JRPGs at all, you will feel very at home.
I fucking love
I just
this
think it's
game.
very good.
I didn't realize. So it's not attached to the main story whatsoever.
Well, technically all of the Yakuza games are a little standalone. Like, you can have played
Okay.
any of them without having played the other ones, and they basically explain themselves fairly well. But Like a Dragon, because it's a new character, it's not Kiryu anymore. It's this new character. Ichiban, yeah. It is a brand new, fresh story for this guy, and the bulk of it takes place years after the last Yakuza game, and mostly in a completely different city. So
He's such a dipshit, Derek.
I love him. He's a beautiful fucking himbo. But yeah, so
I like his hair.
it's incredible, and it comes
Plus,
across
Derek,
by accident.
Derek, can you talk about the pound mates real quick?
Yeah, so your summons are pound mates because it's a smartphone app. It's like Postmates, except you're summoning someone to pound somebody.
This
But
just sounds like a really well worded Tinder.
yeah,
Like,
but it's pound mates, and you do take people to Pound Town with the pound mates app.
Oh, you absolutely take them to Pound
It's
Town.
incredible.
They get pounded real good.
Yeah, it's a very silly, very fun game. It's surprisingly heartfelt. It is available on next gen systems, right? I know it's
yes, yeah, it's backwards compatible.
oh, the Series X and the
it's a
PlayStation
weird
5 versions aren't out
situation
yet.
right now.
Justin,
Yeah.
hit me. Yeah,
The
what's
Series
going on?
X version is the PlayStation 5 version isn't out until March.
It's
for
like a
some reason.
time next gen exclusivity. It's
Okay,
really fucking
so it's
weird.
out right now on PC,
It's pl-
Xbox One, PS4. It's available on Xbox Series S and X with smart delivery, and then PS5. I guess you're gonna have to wait till March if you want to play the PS5 native version.
Yeah,
Don't wait
there
that
is
long. This
gonna
game
be a
fucking rules.
free
Yeah.
upgrade from PS4, but the saves aren't going to transfer.
The
or
saves will
something.
not
I don't know.
transfer.
I'm gonna wait till the PS5 version's out.
Yeah. If you're gonna wait, that's fine. But like, jump on this game. It honestly is gonna get slept on for Game of the Year this year, and it shouldn't be. It's better than an awful lot of the Game of the Year list at the Game Awards. I'll be honest with you. That's but it's just incredible. And then also as a side thing, somebody at work mentioned Diablo 2, and anytime somebody mentions Diablo 2, I have to reinstall a Diablo game. So actually, I did not reinstall Diablo 2 because I'm thinking that we might see a remaster announced at BlizzCon. I have weird feelings, but I reinstalled the original Diablo, and I played through the original Diablo, and it was a good fucking time. And I fucking hate the third quarter of the game in the caves, but that's okay because good ass game.
Very good.
Anybody else have any games they want to shout out they've been playing before we move on?
Kingdom Hearts Melody and Memory is great. If you like rhythm games and you like Kingdom Hearts, this game is for you. If you don't like melody or rhythm games and you don't like Kingdom Hearts, then don't fucking touch it.
What if you like rhythm games but you don't like Kingdom Hearts?
Don't fucking touch it.
What if you don't know if you like rhythm games or Kingdom Hearts? And I stuttered a lot there because I'm a little drunk on bourbon.
Then what you should do in that case is get an old Rock Band game or Guitar Hero and then play a Kingdom Hearts song in the background while you're
I
playing
still
that.
have Guitar Hero Live, and I'm gonna fucking try it on my PS5.
What if I like Final Fantasy?
should.
I
It
like
works.
Disney.
It works.
What if I like Final Fantasy? I like Disney. I hate Kingdom Hearts just on principle for weird reasons I can't explain.
This
And I'm
word I've
iffy on
never
rhythm
fucking
games.
heard.
Fair.
But I like
you
all
don't
the
need a good
components.
reason to not
Yeah.
like Kingdom Hearts because Kingdom Hearts doesn't need a good
Every
reason to
clip
be
I've
an
ever seen of
experiment.
Kingdom
then
Hearts
just
is the dumbest shit I've ever seen.
Then play Final Fantasy Theater Rhythm. And
So good. Oof, I love that game.
that game is great, and plus you'll make Nomura happy.
I don't want to
Either way,
I don't like
either way, we make
Nomura,
Nomura
so
happy and he wins.
I have a personal grudge against Nomura. So
Why?
that's another
zippers?
complication.
Too many buckles?
He's an awful. I've been on this rant way too many times. He's an awful project manager. He ruins the things he touches. Let's move on.
All right.
So Jeff, if
yeah.
you want to take us on this one,
Yeah, I pulled up as many articles as I can because honestly, the story is really fragmented, and I'm trying to find legit, reputable information sources. But basically, where we're going next is there was a big Capcom leak, and so this one's from The Verge. I'm just gonna give some details on what happened because it's an awful situation. So there was a ransomware attack on Capcom, and for anyone who doesn't know, ransomware is basically it's basically an attack on the system, and it retrieves information, and it's just like it sounds. They hold it ransom and they demand money in exchange for returning the information. So it might be files that they've actually locked you out of, which you can no longer access. Most big companies will have backups and things like that, so it's not a huge issue. But in a public-facing situation like this, they may be threatening to release it publicly, which is what happened. So Capcom confirmed this on its website in a post. They had a security breach. It's a mix of project and company information and personal information. So the Verge article says it may have compromised personal data for 350,000 people. That includes names, addresses, birthdays, phone numbers, passport information, HR information, and more. They say no customer information was compromised, so presumably this is maybe clients or employees. But it's basically a very malicious attack. And they have confirmed it, so it did happen. We just don't know the extent and the details.
yeah. So like the preface to all this is basically like this is fucked. A lot of people are going to be harmed by this because their personal information is out there. I know there's some details about some financial transactions between businesses and some like deals that Capcom made with other companies that people like us have no reason to know or care about. And that really harms them. So a lot of the stuff in this leak, please do not seek it out. Please do not
Definitely
care about these details because you don't need to know them. And the further that stuff spreads, the further this hurts Capcom and people who work there unfairly.
We are going to discuss this from a
We'll discuss the games
we know that are coming now perspective. We are not going to touch on any of the other stuff because we do not condone the way it was acquired.
We're not going to give you sources. We're not going to tell you where to find these details. We're not going to provide it. Yeah, exactly.
But as far as I'm concerned, like the upcoming games over the next few years that are at least that Capcom is currently planning on coming ahead, that's, sorry for Capcom's Capcom's marketing that they don't get to surprise people with trailers, but that stuff really doesn't hurt them to the same degree as much as idiots on message boards like to make it out to be.
And also, this is stuff that isn't guaranteed to even come out. This is stuff that is currently in development. It could get canceled. It could get delayed. It could change a whole lot.
Some of
a lot of the stuff is clearly code names,
internal documents, project planning, and it's just a snapshot of whatever time it was leaked, right?
And
some of this stuff is scheduled for like 2023, 2024. And we know
Yeah, it's a ways
how
out.
much can change in games over years. So, you know, obviously,
Pandemics,
Can we also
pandemics.
just can we give a shout out to our Twitter friend Jaw Muncher, who
No
I'm
Dino
sure-
Crisis. Jaws. Poor Jaw. He
Yeah.
must be in
not a single
ruins.
mention of Dino Crisis that I
poor
could find.
guy. Oh, he's but yeah. So like,
Yeah.
you know what jumped out at me the most on this
It
list?
better be Captain
Well, let's-
fucking
so-
Commando.
No, it's Power Stone.
Thank
No,
you.
it's
Yeah.
Captain
Love
Commando.
Power
What the
I-
fuck?
no, I wanted to say, I hope somebody is excited for Power
I
Stone.
mean,
love
yeah.
fucking Power Stone. Like Brit,
Love Power
Brit.
Stone.
Before you, I mean, these guys will tell you how long I've been talking about. Please, Capcom, bring Power Stone back. Like,
I fucking love Power Stone.
what a perfect game that would be on Switch too, right?
So
like,
can I?
Give it. Oh god, to be able to play it online with my buds, like,
Oh.
that would be
I
so
fucking love
good.
Power Stone.
Y'all mind
One
if
of
I?
the best multiplayer games I've
Yep.
ever fucking played.
Period.
Y'all mind if I go through like the highlights of this list?
Yeah,
before
let's
we,
do it.
Before we
Yeah.
just jump around randomly.
Break
Do you
it
have
out.
all of it, Derek? Because I've been trying to pull it all up.
I have
The bulk of it?
the primary list has been translated that most of these people are sourcing from, as well as the original form of the leak. So
There's
this,
some fucking megatons on
yes.
this list.
So this started with some details about like when Resident Evil Village is going to come. Like, let's not even worry about release periods on this because that's just
No,
not big
let's
enough
just talk
news.
about the fucking game.
Monster Hunter Rise and Stories 2, both apparently headed for PC. Apparently, what was there? Looking at localization for they don't have an official English name for them, but there were 2 Ace Attorney spin-offs set in like a feudal Japanese era that are finally getting localized. Ace Attorney 7 is in development, and Ace Attorney 4 through 6 trilogy is getting put together, and those are going to be re-released. Stuff like that. That was the first wave. The big wave came out today, which has stuff like confirming...
Sorry, Derek. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
Maybe we can go. Can we go through the Resident Evil stuff first? Because there's a lot of
Yes,
Resident
yes.
Evil
There's
stuff.
a lot of Resident
yeah,
Evil
yeah, yeah.
specifically. So there's a game. It's being quoted as I'm seeing it as Resident Evil Outrage. I have heard people say that they looked at the leak and that is a mistranslation. That it should be better translated as Resident Evil Outbreak J. I don't know how that happens. But it's clearly a
I
spin-off.
think the leaked documents were using some sort of automated translation from Excel or something like that.
Yeah.
Rather than having
which could be very iffy.
Yeah.
But and I think I've seen people talk about that being an online multiplayer spin-off, which makes sense since that's meant for Q4
we
of
have
next
Resident
year.
Evil Outbreak on the PS2, so do we think it's like a remaster or a port, or do you
That
think
would
it's
be-
It's
I
something
would-
new.
Remaster.
It's something new. It's not going to be a
Okay,
remaster
okay.
report.
I think it's probably a new game, but I think in the same vein.
Yeah.
As that
I
one.
Since we're
fucking
getting-
loved Resident Evil Outbreak.
Since we're getting
I will say it.
Village in the middle of next year, probably early mid next year, the fact that this is Q4 of next year tells me that it's probably like an online title. And we've been getting those, right? We've been getting online Resident Evil spin-offs like
Resistance.
the Resistance and like Umbrella Core or whatever it was before that.
Core Chronicles,
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got the Resident Evil 4 remake headed for Q4 of 2022. We have
Hold up. Is that news?
We've known about that for like a
we've
year.
Okay, I
it's
haven't known
been
about that.
It's been speculated.
it has
It's
been
Yeah.
speculated. It has been leaked by certain insiders, but this is like again, this is further confirmation of the Resident Evil 4 remake being real.
Okay.
I mean,
I did
not
everybody
know it
knew it
had
was going to
much
happen. It's
traction.
the most popular Resident Evil game.
Yeah.
I mean,
Look, let's go full chaos mode. Remake the game that needs no remake. I want to see what happens.
So-
2023, 2023. We'll get to this. We do not have time to stop on individual
Okay.
games right now.
All right,
I need
all right.
to explain what's coming. Okay, then we can fuck about in the
Derek
weeds.
is all business.
I am.
Let's go, Derek.
2023 Resident Evil Apocalypse is what it's codenamed as. That is probably a tentative title. Don't know if that's meant to be. None of this. We don't know if it's a mainline game, a spin-off,
It's
anything.
based on the movie.
I fucking hope not.
Oh.
And then
Oh.
2024. It says Resident Evil Hank. But the thing is
It's
that
Hank.
We believe it's Resident Evil Hunk.
we believe it's
Nope,
meant to be
it's
Hunk
Hank.
because Hunk,
Damn it, Leon.
the character Hunk.
Damn it, zombies!
I need to explain this. The character Hunk is often his name is written out like the word or name Hank in Japan because of the way they phonetically pronounce the letter A in most things. So that might be a Hunk focused spinoff. Yes.
Hold up. There's a character named Hunk.
Yes.
Yeah, you didn't know this? You don't know about Hunk?
I thought you played Resident Evil 2.
I did.
Yeah,
I don't-
he's
I don't
he's
remember
the he's the soldier that you can play as in the spinoff
That's
modes,
Hunk.
the Umbrella Soldier.
I
Everybody
didn't
knows
play the
about Hunk.
spin-off modes.
Okay. Yeah. He's
Okay.
this recurring Umbrella soldier who's been in the background of a bunch of the games and miraculously survives like all of them because he's just the most bad motherfucker, I guess. But anyway, so a
Yeah,
lot of Resident Evil.
he's a character that like just has like a lot of lore around him and he's been a
He's the
guest
Boba
character
Fett
for a
of
lot of
Resident Evil.
To be clear, I've only
He-
played Resident Evil 1 to 3, and I'm not down with the lore.
Yeah,
You have not
He's
played
some
Resident
deep.
Evil 4.
He's some deep dive shit, to be honest with you. So, John, we do not have time
We
for
don't
this.
have time.
We
I played
don't.
2 hours of Resident Evil 4, and I did not enjoy it.
We will do this. He'll play the remake. We'll get to this. Okay. So
Next.
next, there are several titles on this list that are not titled or they're working under super code names. We have no clue what the fuck they are. There's Shield, Regalith, Shield G, whatever that means. New C, New B. Like, yeah, there's 5, and presumably one of those is that weird game that Capcom announced back at one of the PlayStation events. What was it called?
at the PS5 reveal event. What was that called again?
I don't remember.
It had a Pragmata.
Pragmata. Yes, thank you. Presumably one of those is Pragmata.
I
But
passed out.
yeah, but we don't know for sure. So there's several unannounced titles up through 2024. There's also a bunch of classic shit coming. I mean, classic isn't existing Capcom franchises. We have Dragon's Dogma 2.
Who cares?
Fuck you, John. That's who fucking cares. I will fight you and I will lose. Dragon's Dogma 2, Street Fighter 6, currently planned for late 2022. Rockman Match. Considering all of these seem to be bigger games, I don't think that's a little mobile game. So some kind of Mega Man project.
Fighting game. Mega Man fighting game, baby.
Who knows? New Onimusha. Captain.
Wasn't the subtitle
I'm
for that
excited
New
for
York,
that.
Derek, or something?
I'm real excited for
it says
Onimusha.
new work. All that means is
new
it's just
work.
them saying it's going to be a new Onimusha game.
Okay, right. Yeah.
Captain.
I'm very down for I
Captain.
knew Onimusha.
Fucking Commando. I will get into that later. I don't have time.
yeah,
right
that
now.
one is
So
wild.
I don't have time.
Derek, just a quick question. I've seen you very excited about this one.
Yes.
I have no idea what Captain Commando
Captain Commando is an old school like it was an arcade game and it got ports to Super Nintendo and I don't know if anything else, but it's a Final Fight or Streets of Rage style beat 'em up. It's very weird. Captain Commando used to be Capcom's mascot character for a very long time.
Huh.
Okay,
that sounds cool. That
Captain
sounds fun.
Commando. He's famously got real popular from the early Marvel vs. Capcom games where he was a major and frequent character.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay,
he
then
summoned
I
a
know
mummy
him
and a
from that.
samurai
That's
and
all I know
a
him
baby
from.
and a robot, right. Final Fight. New Final Fight. It says Final Fight Remake. Again, that translation, remake has a lot of leeway there, right? That's doing a lot of work. Power Stone Remake, as mentioned. Again, remake, new title, refresh, reboot, relaunch. Again, that remake I would take kind of liberally. And then Street Fighter 6 revisions coming, because of course they plan on doing revisions to Street Fighter.
I know we can't dwell on the single games, Derek. I'm sorry.
No,
I gotta ask.
Yeah.
Do you have what's your gut feeling on Street Fighter 6? Is this like Capcom is back, Street Fighter is back?
We have to see. So Finn and I did a pre-recorded discussion. This is big, right? Because Street Fighter's huge, not just for Capcom,
Right.
but for the entire fighting game industry.
It's fucking Street Fighter.
Capcom sets the standard with new Street Fighter numbered titles. My feeling is that it could go very right or very wrong, but them ditching Ono and having New Blood in charge and having what's his name, Ryoto Tsujimoto, who was in charge of Monster Hunter World, is now heading up the fighting game division.
Oh wow! I didn't know that.
As the overall like big head. So he's not the individual product or project lead for this game, but he's in charge of that whole division. I get the feeling the change in talent is going to be very good for them. Ono
agree.
seems to have been a negative influence in many ways, but we got to see. What I think is interesting, and other people can chime in, what is missing here? No Dino Crisis, obviously. There's been a lot of rumors. We know that a Dino Crisis project was probably in the works at one point and got put off. Maybe it's just not in the works for now. No Dead Rising. Nothing Dead Rising that we can see.
Good.
It's not really
unless-
that surprising at this point.
I think it is, because Dead Rising's been a decently big franchise for them, even with
Well,
the critical
they
reception.
closed the studio that made the
There's
last
been
couple,
multiple
so-
studios that have made it, though. So, no Lost
Question.
Planet. Yes,
Do you think
Oh, who-
any
yeah.
of those games on the list could be a code name for Dino Crisis?
it's possible, right? I mean,
think
like,
Resident Evil Hank is Dino Crisis.
yeah. What is like
Hank is actually the dinosaur you play as in Dino Crisis.
yeah, like what is Regolith, right? What is New
Yeah.
B and New C? What the fuck is Shield? We don't know what any of these are.
Be definitive, right? We don't know that every game, every project is in here.
That's true. So another point that I would make is people have said, well, wait, so there's not going to be like anything other than this? Well, let's use the example of a Mega Man Battle Network collection, which I think a lot of people have
God, Derek, don't tease me like
people
that.
have asked. But here's the thing: a Battle Network collection, something like that, probably does not need to be on a list of like your biggest titles that you're expecting to carry you through these various quarters, right? Not something like this. So I think that this is meant to be a big deal list. Another good example is I've seen a lot of people saying, so Marvel vs. Capcom is dead for good. And I would say, well, if Capcom hasn't finalized a deal with Marvel for a new Marvel vs. Capcom, then they don't want to plan 4 years in advance for a Marvel vs. Capcom they don't know they're going to get to make. So they could finalize a deal next month and have something out in a couple years, and we wouldn't know from this list. And that's assuming that this is completely current. This could be, again, a little bit outdated. So
something that Justin said in chat, Derek, I wanted to address.
yeah.
He said one of those codenames has to be Monster Hunter World 2, right? I would assume
Monster Hunter 6.
Monster Hunter 6.
Monster Hunter 6.
is-
'Cause Monster
Oh,
Hunter
I
5.
didn't realize there was a Monster Hunter 6.
It's
Yeah.
2023, I think.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mid
Tentatively,
2023.
who knows?
So
None of these dates will ever stick. For
Yeah.
Sure.
No.
So
and
Rise-
also,
Rise is
Also,
a spinoff, not the next Monster Hunter. I mean, it's gonna be good. I'm super looking forward to it, but it's not 6.
well, and Derek, I wanted to cut in here and ask, like, obviously, like
I'm our
some of
Capcom
these
expert,
dates,
so
some of these dates surprise me. Like Resident Evil 4 remake, if that is indeed happening, which I think we all assumed that it would anyway. That seems a little late for me. I thought that I expected that one sooner than fourth quarter 2022.
it seems
to be
like
honest
they
with
want
you.
one big Resident Evil a year, right? So if Village is their 2021 game,
Oh yeah, Village.
then
Village is
4
coming out
would be
next year.
2022, and then Apocalypse
okay.
is
That makes
2023,
sense.
and then whatever Hunk is 2024. So
That actually makes.
Derek, real quick, I want to ask, what's the deal with Rise coming to PC and not console, like other consoles? That seems really strange to me.
I think that's confusing to me. I think it could be a couple of reasons for that. I'm very glad, by the way, that we all recognize my expertise in the area of Capcom specifically.
Mainly
Monster Hunter.
PC.
Yeah. So one possibility is that whatever Nintendo partnership with them prevents them from putting it on Xbox and PlayStation, but doesn't prevent
That's
them
what
from
I
putting it
would
on PC. That happened with a lot of Sony and Microsoft exclusives through the last generation. Another possibility is that Capcom does not want Rise to eat into Monster Hunter World, which they are maybe probably
That's
hoping to continue
Yeah.
to sell copies of, and sell copies of Iceborne specifically, and especially
They
as we
don't.
move-
They don't want those two to cannibalize each other on multiple consoles.
Right, and they want to move to the next generation, and then maybe some people pick up Iceborne because they want to see what it's like on the new systems, and then they don't want people super invested in Rise going, you know what, I'm okay with holding off and not grabbing Monster Hunter 6 because I'm still super deep in this. It's a way for them to alternate, kind of, I think. I think that's more likely. I think it's just that they don't want to cannibalize their sales.
I heard one interesting theory about that is that Rise is also likely probably coming to PC, probably a lot for the Chinese market.
Possible.
Since that's something that'll probably run on a lot of like internet cafe computers and stuff, and lower spec machines for a lot of the stuff that gets really, really widely popular in Asia.
Yeah, possible.
Let's face it, though. Let's face it, though.
Which I thought was a pretty good guess.
Yeah, no, that's a good.
Monster
that's a good
Hunter
point.
Rise is going to sell 3 times on Switch what it will on PC, guaranteed.
Almost certainly,
Like,
but I think Capcom as well has had decent success with World on PC, and they want to see if it gets replicated. Capcom is sort of committed to PC, right? Like Resident Evil has been coming out day and date. A lot of their biggest games have been coming out day and date on PC, but Monster Hunter World is the first time they did that, and it was separated by a pretty significant delay. And I just think that they want to see if Rise also does enough to justify the cost of the port.
When is that supposed to come out again, Derek? February?
We don't have
Rise?
a date, right? Or is it? If we have a date,
I thought it was
I
February.
want to say it's
20
March.
something.
It's March 20. It's March 20 something.
Yep, it's
March,
that
okay,
weirdly
March 20
specific date. Yep.
March.
Yeah.
Okay, right. March
There's
26. Thank
a
you,
couple
Sam.
other games on. So yeah, I think that's the tentative. Supposedly the PC version's coming later, which will not make people happy because that's what happened with World. But
Derek, I wanted to ask the group, if you don't mind, specifically everybody's opinion about Resident Evil 4 Remake, because I feel like we're starting to get into games in the series
I think
that,
this is the
that
coolest
still hold
shit.
up well and don't need remakes.
that's what's fun about it.
Okay, so I'm with Derek on this one. I was one of those people that was excited for Resident Evil 4 because it was the Resident Evil that pissed everybody off, right? Like when it first came out, everybody was like, "This isn't a real Resident Evil game. This is like a different Resident Evil game." And now those same those same people are now like, Resident Evil 4 is getting remake. It's perfect the way it is. It doesn't need to be remade.
I think
And I'm
Resident
like,
Evil 4, it's been re-released on a billion systems. It is a game that is one of the few games that is broadly considered untouchable. That's not to say everyone loves it, but the vast majority of people consider it like nearly perfect. It's a game that doesn't really need a remake. So the fact that they're gonna remake it means that they've got to do more than just slap some shiny graphics on that
That's
thing.
true, but
They
this is
gotta
what
get
worries me.
they gotta get wild. That's what I want. I want to see what the fuck they're gonna do.
I almost so here's what worries me. And then I want to kick it to Justin because I know he had his hand up. Resident Evil
Jeff
2
had
and
his
3
first, but-
remakes were notorious for cutting out content. 3 especially, like 3 removed the clock tower
But
portion of the
3
game
did a lot of
entirely.
different stuff too.
I mean, they not for 3. I mean,
it didn't
A lot
benefit
of
it in
3
that- in
was
that
very
sense.
different from the original version, and I quite liked that. Look at what they
but
did
I
with
agree
Nemesis.
Brittany,
Look
though.
at what
Like
they did
it
with the
wasn't to the
sewers.
game's benefit though. Like
Different
I think
doesn't
it was.
necessarily make a game good.
and
That's all I'm
like
gonna say.
there are so many iconic parts of Resident Evil 4 that I am afraid they might axe.
Are you really Are you really worried they're going to cut the island? Really? Is that where we're going with this?
No, the Krauser fight, the best fucking thing in that
That's
game.
not
Krauser
going
fight is
anywhere.
great.
Krauser fight's not going anywhere.
The Krauser fight is great, and all like I mean, I don't know, like maybe I'm just a purist.
Stop worrying. Resident Evil 4 is going to keep existing, dude. Don't worry about it.
Right.
Don't worry about it.
Jeff,
Stop
that
worrying
hair,
and love
man,
the bomb. Jeff, I think you had your hand up first, so if
I'm
I can hit
excited
you
for it.
and then
Don't get me
Bustin.
wrong. Yeah.
I'm drunk and I don't know what I was gonna say.
Justin, go ahead, buddy.
So, kind of the interesting thing is, like, I do kind of share some of John's worries, especially since, to me, a lot of the personality of 4 is in a lot of cheesiness that I think will probably get cut or altered. However, I am open to seeing a remake of it because, one, it's not like I can't get Resident Evil 4.
Right. They're going to
easily.
port
Like,
Resident
that
Evil 4 to
game is-
PS5. It's fine.
like, I mean, you can already play it via backwards compatibility because it was on PS4.
They'll port it
like-
anyway. They'll port it
Yeah.
with bad ray tracing,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, like so there's that, but also like I'm somebody that played Resident Evil 4 when it came out. And I think it's a near perfect game. However, a lot of people that have tried to play it in the past several years have found, like, especially control wise, it does not age well for them. Those of us that played it, back when the
I can
controls and
understand those
stuff
complaints. Yeah.
don't have an issue with it. So I think the game, like, it's in a weird place where I think for anybody that played it before a certain point, it's like an almost untouchable game. But after another point, a lot of people find it frustrating. Like, I'm one of those people that they already did a remake of Resident Evil 1. I want them to remake that again.
Let's
because
go.
I
Let's
will
remake
not
the
play-
remake.
I will not play I will not play fixed cameras, tank controls ever again.
Fuck you, they're so good. I'm sorry.
Yo, I played not Until Dawn, Man of Medan recently, and Man of Medan just made me want a new Resident Evil with those fixed camera angles because it was so creepy and good in that regard. Not a great
I
game,
fucking
but
hate that name, by the way.
Man of Medan.
Brittany, go ahead.
I went down to Best Buy, got me the Man of Medan.
Got me Man of Medan.
I wanted to say I did not play Resident Evil 4 when it first came out. I played a Resident Evil 4, and this might be a spicy take. I played Resident Evil 4 on the Wii.
Yes.
Oh, you played one of the best versions.
You played the best version.
It's the best version, so I've never played any of the versions since then because it is.
Oh, the Wii version is wild.
It's the best version.
It's really
so
good.
Fucking fun.
The motion controls serve that game really well.
Oof, that is the only and best way to play the game, which is why I have not played it on console since, because I will not do as good.
I'm sorry, I gotta weigh in because, like,
Please,
I know we don't have.
Jeff.
I don't give a shit. I tried to play Resident Evil 4. I never played it at the time. Here's my story with Resident Evil 4. It was
That's
a
gonna make
GameCube
people mad.
exclusive, right?
Mm-hmm. No, it came out on Wii and GameCube at the same time.
It was originally a GameCube
supposed
exclusive
to
for a
be
while.
GameCube exclusive.
I did not own a GameCube at the time. Then I think it came out on PS2.
Yeah, a while
I already
later.
stole my PS2 for my PS3. So, and then, like, we just kind of got into that, like, continual, like, there's always new versions, but I was always waiting for the next best version. So I didn't try playing it until, like, a year or two ago on PC. And it's just, like, a weird... I love Resident Evil 1 to 3. I love the originals. I don't give a shit. I will take heat for this. I fucking love tank controls. I love fixed cameras. I don't care.
Tank controls add to the scariness. Yeah. I don't care what anybody says.
I love fumbling around and a zombie being behind me and moving at like 2 inches a second, and I just can't turn around fast enough. I love that shit. So Resident Evil 4 is a weird, like, it's not really like the old games, but when I tried playing it, it didn't quite feel like a modern game. It was like in this really weird middle ground. And there's a lot of...
4 is kind of a game that influenced a whole lot of stuff last gen. Like Gears of War, like, has pretty vocally said that, you know, they were heavily inspired by 4. What's everybody laughing at?
I respect its legacy so much. I understand the influence it had. I just want to be clear. But, like, literally playing it, I was like, man, just it wasn't a good time. I'm sorry. So I'm down for a remake. I'm so down.
So I'm gonna
let's take a little extra time because I know we're getting close to 10:30, but this is a big meaty topic. So, like, if we want to take a little time, I think I'd like to see out of this list, like, what are people fucking hyped for?
I think John and I said Power Stone.
Yeah,
that's the best Power Stone.
I don't even know what a new Power Stone would be like. But I think the
fun.
idea of them doing like a platformer fighter.
You know what? I'm happy with a fucking HD port at this point. Just give me fucking Power Stone back.
Yep.
I honestly don't have anything specific I'm super excited for. I mean, I'm really glad that they still have a lot of Resident Evil coming. I'm a huge fan of that series. More Monster Hunter, great. The thing that just makes me so happy just seeing this list is, one, it seems like they're doing a lot of different stuff. 2, it's just awesome to see Capcom just investing into so many different IPs, being able to support the development of so many different games. We've said this numerous times, but they were in dire straits for a while, but they have been on a real hot streak for the past few years. And it's so awesome to see that paying off in a way where they can kind of go wild behind the scenes and work on almost anything they want to work on, it seems like. and a whole bunch of different genres, whole bunch of different focuses. I'm so excited to see what comes from them, and I'll be on board because they've been doing wonderful work the past few years.
Yeah. Jeff, what
They
about
really
you?
have.
What about you, man?
You know, so we did our like spooky games show in October, and I talked about how much I love Resident Evil 1. I just want to be clear. I love, even though I haven't played the newer games, I haven't played much of 4. I haven't played 5 or 6 or any of that. I didn't like 7 that much. I love the classic Resident Evil. Like, I love the core of Resident Evil. So I'm really excited. And I loved Resident Evil 2 Remake, and I haven't finished Resident Evil 3, but I love these remakes. So I'm really excited to see if this 4 remake can kind of get me jazzed and in love with this series again. But I'm gonna give, I gotta give a shout out to our good friend Wout. We all know his. I'm sorry, I couldn't get into Dragon's Dogma that much. I played 10 or 15 hours, and I could see a very flawed game with a really interesting core concept. I'm really interested to see if they can modernize and just kind of polish Dragon's Dogma, because there's something there. That game has something to it. The combat is really fucking good. There's some interesting ideas. Nighttime in that game was like really scary. It's pitch black. So I would love to see what they do with that franchise. That's a really weird one. I honestly never did think we'd see a sequel to it. And that's like a big wild. I can kind of, everything else on this list, I'm like, all right, I can see what Monster Hunter 6 is going to look like. I can see what Street Fighter 6 is going to look like. I want to see what they're going to do with Dragon's Dogma. So that's my dark horse.
I'm kind of with you that Dragon's Dogma 2 could really be transformative. Like, Dragon's Dogma had such highs and lows, and this new anime was almost an attempt to kill the franchise off. It was so fucking bad. But Dragon's Dogma, there's, like you said, there are elements in there where you can see the greatness through some of the jank. And it's a game that so desperately needed a sequel that was a little bit more polished and focused and refined. And I think we're getting that. And we're getting that quite a bit of time later after Itsuno has done, fresh off the heels of Devil May Cry 5. Like, this dude is going to be ready to fuck up some Dragon's Dogma. I'm ready to go. But if you're going to ask me the dark horse, look, I've been yelling about it all over the place. Captain fucking Commando is... It depends on what they're doing, right? If Captain Commando is just going to be like a retro style, like Streets of Rage 4, whatever, like an old, it's like a beat 'em up again. Cool, I guess. Those are kind of coming back. But like,
Derek?
What's up?
What is Captain Commando?
Captain Commando was an old arcade beat 'em up, kind of in that Streets of Rage, Final Fight kind of style.
I can't believe that's coming back.
Captain Commando used to be Capcom's original mascot. He was like inside the instruction booklet of every Capcom game. And then he got his own game, and he's in Marvel vs. Capcom, and I always use him in my teams in Marvel vs. Capcom 2. But yeah, I think if they just want to make a retro beat 'em up, like, cool. A lot of those have been coming. River City Girls was good. Streets of Rage 4 was good. Like, they're making a new Final Fight, so we know they're kind of wanting to do stuff like that. Cool. But I think you have the potential to take this forgotten Capcom mascot character and really revive him into either a character action game or like the open world superhero game format. Like, do something big with this guy. Bring this motherfucker back. And his partner ninja and partner mummy and partner robot baby. Like, let's go. Let's just get weird with this. So I don't know, but I think that has the potential to be the wildest shit on this list. It may not be, but it might be. Anyway, that's what we got, I think. I'm with Jeff.
Looks like
Bourbon good.
we are running a little
bourbon
bit over.
good. I am out of the bourbon.
It's the bullet, right? Bullet's good
It's
shit.
the bullet.
Bullet's
Yeah,
good
bullet's
shit.
good shit. It's fucking expensive. I'm so broke.
Oh,
I wonder
missed
if I
you
can
guys.
mail
After-
you.
It
After
pairs
we
well
off.
with the PlayStation 5.
You know that's like a $20 bottle here in Kentucky, right?
Well, I think we actually had there was tariffs on bourbon thanks to his orange turdness.
Yeah,
I think
that
they're
doesn't
over now.
help.
This is $50 here.
Wow! I wonder if I can
seven-
buy a bottle of bourbon and like cheap ship it to you.
You're in Kentucky, aren't you?
Yeah, they make it in my backyard, dude.
Yeah. Hook
is
me up, please.
That is $20 here, man. I live in the place anyway. We're not talking about evading taxes, or whatever.
We are.
Shh. Folks, I'm glad that I got to have this night with y'all and we got to have a good fun chat. I believe we will have no show next week. Correct? Since it will be Thanksgiving.
Although I may,
folks,
I'm off for most of the week. I may do a stream or something, Derek.
Yeah, we may do some community stuff kind of casually, but I don't think there will be a news podcast. Folks,
no, not on Thanksgiving.
I am begging you all. We are collectively begging you all. Be fucking safe on Thanksgiving.
Please.
Okay? Don't
Please.
do big group family dinners, okay? Stay home. Make dinner for the family you live with. Do some zoo. Oh, we lost Brittany. I pissed her off. I do.
If you're like me and have to work, make sure you're taking precautions, cleaning your hands, wearing a mask, staying behind plexiglass.
Yeah. Thanksgiving, we are
keeping
having
distant from people.
We are having a horrific surge in COVID right now, nationwide in the U.S. and that's not going to, just because you stay home for Thanksgiving doesn't mean you're going to be safe, right? Because all those people are then going to be at your grocery stores, they're going to be at your gas stations, they're going to be in your workplace if you still have to go in to work. So please, 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 step one is don't do Thanksgiving. Stay home with your family that you live with and call people and do Zoom calls and stuff and have meaningful conversations with your family that way, but don't do that and be prepared for a rough winter until these vaccines get finished. And then on a lighter note, as Sam has noted, the Game Awards are coming. So of course our Game Awards show, we're going to have Sam Tolbert on because we gotta. That's every year.
It's just an annual tradition.
It's a tradition. That's our boy. We gotta. So I think that's all the footnotes we got.
Just wanted to give a quick shout out to all the wonderful people in our trans community. It is Trans Awareness Week. And we value all of you. And we are so grateful, not just for your presence, but that you have the courage to be who you truly are. We greatly appreciate you. Thank you for all the lessons that you have taught us and the strength that you have shown us. I know things can't be easy right now for a lot of you based on the current climate in the country, but know that you will always have friends here, you will always have allies here, and you'll always have a place with us. I also wanted to quickly recognize International Men's Day. And when Brittany's back, I wanted to quickly recognize International Men's Day, which is a focus on mental health for men. And I just want to remind all the guys out there that it is okay to be vulnerable. It is okay to cry. It is okay to show a range of emotions publicly. Doesn't make you any less of a man. True manliness is being comfortable in your own skin, being comfortable with who you are. And so remember that International Men's Day is not about, men. It's about it's about the problems that men have with mental health.
It's about our society that tells men they have to succumb to toxic masculinity.
Right.
Which you don't have to uphold those standards. You can uphold whatever standards you want. You right
Absolutely.
there, you're valid.
I just want to say on the topic of men's mental health, I've been seeing a therapist since August, and everyone needs to see a fucking therapist.
Yes.
I do.
Oh my
It is
God.
the best thing I've ever done.
You don't have to be
amazing.
suffering from like a current disaster right now. It's good for everybody. Everyone should have a therapist. Every person, no matter how happy you are, it's only good.
Absolutely. And I think that's all we got.
Wait, I missed. Are we skipping next week?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll
mean,
probably do a
I've-
stream or something, Britt.
I
Like,
did
you want to do some of
Thanksgiving
the
2
new
months
Because
ago,
I was
so
about to say,
I'll
I
be
would
free.
totally eat some fucking turkey on stream.
Yeah,
and
we
talk
might,
about
we
video
might, you know what? And
games.
maybe
We
we
might
get
do
together.
something.
Maybe we do an SDGC Thanksgiving. Who knows? We'll
Where
figure
else
it
are
out.
we gonna fucking go? It's
Right.
a pandemic.
Right.
Friday night
I
might
mean, I
actually
have
be a
work,
good
so
time for that.
I'm gonna be at work.
Maybe
Yeah.
Brittany will force feed some
Force feed.
people.
I will get on here by myself and carve it up, y'all.
Guys, I literally really actually love the idea of like a Friday evening SDGC Thanksgiving dinner.
Maybe that's what we do.
I
We'll
really
figure
do
it
love
out.
that.
We'll figure it out.
But
I'll make some hot pockets for it.
There you go.
Yeah, my dude.
Get the bagel bite.
Yeah.
Listen, I ate pizza rolls on stream, so you know.
All right,
You
everybody.
can't set the bar much lower than that.
This has been a
Hack-
good show. This was a good show.
We
It
needed
was.
Happy.
this.
It was it's always a good show. I missed you fuckers after last week. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Take care of each other. We'll do something next week. Won't be a regular podcast, but we'll do something. Until then, take care. Wear your masks. Maintain social distancing, and remember, kindness costs nothing.